Have you ever felt that you as a woman may not appear to measure up when you see incredible women in strong roles? You may be surprised when hearing from women in these positions and how we all share many of the same challenges. Thank you for joining us for the SheEO Lead-In podcast with Rebecca Jones as we share the journeys of women.
Welcome back to Season 2 of SheEO Lead-In on Cloudcast Media, the podcast that shines a spotlight on remarkable women in leadership. I'm Erin Tanner, the show's producer, filling in for our host, Rebecca Jones. We get ready to dive deep into the personal stories of influential women in San Diego who have blazed trails, conquered obstacles, and achieved incredible successes, all while empowering the next generation of young women to step confidently into their own leadership roles. We are set to bring you more empowering conversations that celebrate the women in leadership. Let's lead in together. So we are here today with Denise Clark, co-owner and winemaker of Altipiano Winery and Vineyard. How are you?
I'm well. Thank you so much for inviting me, Erin.
Of course, you were my top choice. As soon as I heard of getting this opportunity to produce Season 2, you were at the top of the list. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Please tell us about Altipiano and the story behind it.
Very simple. Mm-hmm. By default, we got into this business. 2007, there was the wildfire, October 21st, actually. And we had 900 avocado trees, and they all burned. However, earlier that year in March, we had gone to southern Tuscany for a friend who had retired. And my husband and I both fell in love with southern Tuscany. There's nothing not to love about it. And we didn't realize at that point in time how big of an influence that trip would have on our next decision in determining the next crop. So we, after the fire, it was very devastating because, of course, many of our neighbors lost their homes, and there was a fatality that was a neighbor for a number of years. And Peter, my husband, he just got in motion and said, let's plant a vineyard. Well, I started laughing because I said, you're an attorney, I'm in HR. We don't know a thing about, planting a vineyard. So now what? So we contracted with a consultant, Eddie Chuzzi, out of Santa Rosa. And he came down. We did our soil analysis. We knew our soil was very fertile because it was an avocado grove, 40-year-old avocado grove. And so we were pretty confident that our area was just a wonderful growing area. And subsequently learned that it had been a great growing region prior to Prohibition. So there you have it. And when we pulled the rest of the stumps out of the ground, I mean, the fertileness of the soil was just amazing. The dirt smelled just sweet. Yeah,
it sounds like there's beauty from ashes, literally.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Guys created.
Absolutely. And little did we know that all of our experiences in business and the challenges have prepped us for this next journey.
Isn't that wild what life does?
Yes. It's been a journey.
You spoke to the community around your home and Vineyard now. Tell me a bit about that, how you guys all come together, because it sounds like it's a close-knit community. Were there other wineries already there, or people in the area to consult with?
There was only one winery, Cordiano Winery, was the original one in the Highland Valley area. But yes, we were all neighbors for a number of years. We've lived in the Highland Valley area for about 25 years, and there's other folks that have been up on that mountain since the late 60s, early 70s. So it is a very close-knit community. We really relied on each other during those challenges after the fire, and so you get that sense of community. We used to live in the city, and we probably knew 2 or 3 of our neighbors. Now we know everybody in about a 10-mile radius. So that's the difference of, living in rural area versus in the city, which I love. I could never see myself in the city again.
Being raised in Valley Center, it's,
Absolutely.
that
Same
what
thing.
you do on a Friday night is definitely coming around to your parents on a Monday. You are not getting away with anything.
Yes, our grandkids do not get away with anything.
To that grandkids. So you have an incredible home.
Thank you.
And yes, and then the guests that get to visit the winery get to see the rooms that you've converted into spaces that people get to stay over in. You do an incredible job, not only making wine, but it's setting the stage of just like a true experience for people as soon as they come through the gates, whether they're spending the night or staying the day there. It's so incredibly peaceful. Did you have that in mind when you were beginning? Was it just going to be the vineyard, winemaking, all of it?
We didn't have a clue.
Oh, yeah.
So everything has evolved over a period of time. Our home was there, so as a result of that, it was all about hospitality. People can go and spend their money anywhere, but what is your niche? We wanted to make sure that when people came to our home, it's just like you've been a guest at my home. It's the hospitality of it. Come on in. I have Southern roots. My parents were both Southerners, and so they bring you in, they feed you, they entertain you, and we wanted to make sure that when our guests came for the experience, not just to taste wine. And so as a result, our house is pretty large. And even though our grandkids are actually back in the rooms in the house. Mm-hmm. So we're utilizing our back home where we're going to VRBO for that total experience. You can overlook the vineyard, look at Palomar Mountain, because we want you to come experience the wine, but not just my wine. There's 9 other wineries up on our mountain who are our extended family. We want you to go visit them. And because we do have that close-knit community, I don't see them as our competitors. We just all have a different, unique experience for you to come in and enjoy.
You mentioned that family drives your passion for this.
Absolutely.
And coming to your home, your family was there, your daughter, your
Absolutely.
grandkids. It was such a pleasure meeting them. One, how are they? And
They're
also,
well.
Yeah.
The eldest just graduated from high school, and
right,
she'll be
yeah.
starting college. Oh, that's scary.
I remember, I think she was doing headshots or senior photos or something.
Yes.
I'm like, wow, this is a big step for everyone. You guys are so close.
She's going to start at San Marcos. And then, we told her just go experience that first year. Mm-hmm. She has grown up very sheltered, so we were kind of keeping our thumb on the scale and want her to stay home. And then if she wants to transfer, she can. She got into Humboldt, she got into Hayward and several other schools. And if she wants to transition, wait for a year, get the first year under your belt, see how it goes. And then, because I don't think she really realized how much she has a support system here.
Which makes all the difference.
It makes a lot of difference.
I'm sure she'll feel that. There's no
Sure.
way, yeah.
But at least we can pick her up if she, something happens, we're within reach.
Did your daughter always want to come in and because she works right alongside with you guys, right?
She does. Yeah. I don't know if she always wanted to, but the reason why we're doing this is to create that legacy. And, one of the biggest issues with, people nowadays is that how do you create that generational wealth? Everything is so expensive. And what motivates me, whether, my hip was hurting, I had a total hip replacement this year. It didn't matter. I had to get up and make it happen and go to work. Mm-hmm. But the kids are seeing that too, that the only way that you're going to be successful is if you're out there making it happen and solving problems, which translate in any industry.
Absolutely.
I came out of HR, saw a lot of challenges managers face and supervisors, but when you're running a business and you're that entrepreneur, the buck stops with you. So good, bad, or indifferent decision, it stops with you. And you've got to figure it out. And this is a very tough business. It's very competitive. Fortunately, I learned that I did have a talent, and because Peter did not have a nose or a palate, so by default I became the winemaker.
Yeah.
But we had a winemaker for a couple of years, but I always say this. We had nothing bad to unlearn because we didn't know anything. So to start venturing out and listening to folks that have been in the industry for a very long time, I learned so much just by listening and tasting wine. I tasted a lot of different wines, a lot of different interpretations. And one of my mentors always told me, never poo-poo on a varietal until you've had enough, have drank enough of different varietals and different artists. And that's the way I see it. I see winemakers as an artist because there could be 5 people in a room. We can have the same varietal, and that wine is definitely going to come out different.
True. Having some experience, I think it was high school, getting to do harvests with some families up, in the countryside. There's so much to it. And nature, like we were joking about, she is a fancy one. She throws curveballs all the time. All the time.
She's throwing one this year. Normally we would be through veraison.
Wow.
We're barely starting veraison. So I see us harvesting all the way into November.
Wow.
I know.
Can I come stomp grapes? Well, not really, but like cut grapes off.
You can come and cut.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, and get my feet in there. Who you spoke about some of your mentors? Are they also then role models? Are they are they from in that same space, or who are some of your role models?
Our initial role models was Rosemary and Paul Calicarian, and we have lost both of them. Rosemary and Paul were in the wine industry. They actually started the Wine of the Month Club, which is the largest in the United States. Paul and Rosemary both had an impeccable palate, but Paul was so excited when we started this business, and he would literally come out in between Rosemary making dinner for him and said, "Young lady, I want you to know what a great Pinot Noir tastes like. Meet me right out there at the driveway because Rose is making me dinner and I have to go home." So we would walk out.
Wow.
And then he would quiz me. He said, "Okay, tell me what you thought." And he would literally have me break down the structure, the complexity, what did I experience. The fact that he believed in me before I even knew I could do this was incredible. And I've had other folks that showed me the love like that. I can remember in 2012 was my first time making, all on my own, making wine. And everybody and their brother is trying to tell you what to do. It's just like, everybody's trying to fix you up on a date. And I was astounded by my gut was just telling me, am I doing the right thing here?
All together or with that one season? You mean like the
in
first
that
season
one
doing it on your
season.
own? Okay.
So I was really following the protocol of the previous winemaker. But because, like I said, I had started venturing out and going to a lot of different seminars and learning different things from different artists and winemakers who were working for big houses out of Napa, Sonoma, and Paso Robles, and they would teach us things that made you really think about what you were doing. And I just didn't feel that, I thought that we could do better. So my question to my husband was, I sat him down, I said, the wines are good, but I don't want to just be good. I want to be great. And I said, because why else are we doing this?
Agreed. I
said, you're a certain age. Well, I started at 54, so that meant he was 74. I'm like, why else are we doing this? So, and then there was Greg LaFolic. Peter originally met Greg. Greg is one of the finest Pinot Noir makers. It was just, his wines are just absolutely incredible. And he was down for a symposium. Peter met him, brought him to our winery, gave him my wine. I started crying because I said, no. I said, I'm not ready.
I'm seeing the visual of you,
what
like
are you
the
doing?
slow motion, grabbing the bottle back.
Trying to grab the bag back. And I'm like, oh my God, he's going to hate my wines because I don't have a clue as to what I'm doing. But he called me that next day and he just gave me this really great shot in the arm. And he told me to dare to just be myself.
And look how that's turned out.
Right.
As people believing in you, it really does. When I had not experienced that really truly before until I think maybe about 5 years ago. And in a coach in nothing, And I'm like, wow, one person can make
it makes
all
all
of
the
that
difference. It really does, because I'm not classically trained, so I was in a very tough, competitive, male-dominant arena. And, I mean, I'm sure people, I know they did, looked at me and were like, what do you know about making wine? And I didn't know a thing, but I knew what I liked, and I knew what I didn't like. But you can have the science behind you, but science doesn't give you the whole picture, and it doesn't define you as a winemaker. You've got to put your own interpretation on where you think that wine can go. And for me, it was just this beautiful rhythm, which I grew up being classically trained as a young kid, and so music has always been a huge influence. And so for me, there was just this beautiful melody about the making of wine. When I'm out in the vineyard, to me, it's just like this beautiful symphony. And I mean, when Peter came up with our tagline, the music of wine, it so resonated with me, because it really is a masterpiece when you transfer those grapes and you turn it into something beautiful that people are going to enjoy. And so food, wine, conversation, and music, they all go very much hand in hand.
Yeah, you have it all.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the heartbeat that puts the heartbeat, but it's
absolutely.
Truly,
it is a beat. There's you have your melody, you have your middle, and you have your bass, and so you hear all of that, or at least I do, in the transformation of me making wine. I don't know why I get it. I just know that I get it. I did find out after I had been doing this for a while. My father and I were talking, and he started giggling about how he would go down to his grandmother's cellar, and that his sister and him would get drunk. And I said, what do you mean? He said, well, your great-grandmother used to make wine. I said, no.
It's in you.
I said, when were you going to tell me this?
Wow.
So we laughed about that. I mean, albeit she made fruit wine and hooch and things like that. But, still there's a fermentation that
Absolutely.
has to occur.
Uh-huh.
And apparently
people are going to drink it, but will they enjoy it? Yeah,
that's
what
the
we're
question.
aiming for. Yeah,
that's the question. So,
you made a comment. You said everyone and their brother was, trying to put their 2 cents in and tell you this and that. Did you see yourself early on, like representation? No. Yeah.
I had no.
Yeah. Was that a struggle? Was that? I mean, you're speaking.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, because you have a lot of confidence. That you need to have enough of that to get going or keep you going, and as well as the community around you, and representation matters. So yeah, tell us more.
It does. However, I think because at the age that I had to do this, my cheering squad was my family. First and foremost, my husband, my dad, my daughter, my close-knit circle of friends. I mean, they really did believe that I could do it. But I think that for me, I'm really a bulldog, so I've always been that way. And so the more that someone told me that I couldn't do something, it just really gave me that shot in the arm. I said, really?
Hold my glass.
Just hold my glass. You just watch me.
Well, and to that point, you've brought home some gold. So
yeah.
What have those have been in?
Well, it's kind of funny because my first double gold was with the San Francisco International, and it was for a 2015 Zinfandel. I thought it was good. I didn't think it was all that. I mean, I thought it was good.
In your humble opinion, but everyone's like,
wine is so subjective. I mean, it's across the board, and you hope that the judges have your wines first or whatever. And then, but I have subsequently consistently medaled with gold medals and silver medals. This past year, our 2018s was really dedicated to my dad. I lost my dad in January of 2018, and he was definitely, my cheering squad. And so all my 2018s were dedicated to my father. I submitted 3, a 2018 Alianico, 2018 Nero d'Avola. I got the grapes from Paso Robles, Pear Valley Vineyards. It's on the east side, beautiful vineyard. And then my 2019 Syrah, I took 3 golds.
Wow.
So
incredible. Do you only grow on your property, or do you have grapes other places?
I also purchase grapes from other growers.
Okay.
I've gone as far away as, Napa and Sonoma, and more recently, a lot of my fruit, my Primitiva and Petite Syrah grapes were coming out of Amador County. Currently, last year, I only purchased from local growers, actually in Highland Valley.
Oh,
All
wow.
Highland Valley grapes last year, which was the Alianico Syrah, a little bit of Cap, and my Merlot grapes. Merlot grapes came from Starvation Mountain Vineyard, and the other grapes came from Old Coach. And Sandy, actually, from Old Coach was the first female winemaker in San Diego County, and she was has been a wonderful mentor to me.
To having mentors or women mentors, empowering women in leadership is a mission close to our hearts. Can you share more of initiatives or practices that you implement in your company to promote that?
I'm vice president of the Women Wine Alliance, and our whole mission is about empowering women through mentorship, education, and because it's so important that you're bringing that next generation along. I think I have a duty as being the only woman of color between here and Napa to share my story, but also be a role model. And it transcends for all women, even men too. I mean, you have to, if you have a dream, you need to pursue that dream, and you need to have a game plan, and you need to surround yourself with folks that are going to be there during the tough challenges. No doesn't necessarily mean no. It just means you may need to bring your own table and chair and have another conversation.
Build the table yourself.
Build
sure.
the table.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because you never know the motivation why people are saying no to you, or telling you that you can't go out and do something. And I think if you have a passion about doing something, do your research, surround yourself with folks that have already been in the business, and then just get at it.
Mm-hmm.
Make it happen.
Yeah, absolutely. Challenges that you guys are experiencing, and maybe your opinion on how to work through them, some solutions.
I think the biggest challenge especially for San Diego County, first of all, we don't have the mentors down here in San Diego like Napa and Sonoma and Paso Robles. We're not an old wine region, so we don't have the labor. It costs money to run this type of business. When you're looking at a startup business, banks don't want to even remotely approach a farming aspect, so that's always going to be challenging. And it's not just here in San Diego County. That's across the country for farmers. But here's the bottom line. If we don't have farm industry, then America's not going to eat. So there has to be, and we do have to solve the labor problem. We don't have skilled, trained laborers that can come out and manage our vineyards. And even if you do, the cost of bringing a vineyard manager into your business, and you're small, is astronomical. And most of the wineries are only 5 to 10 acres. They can't afford that.
Right.
I mean, to bring in a top-notch winemaker, you're looking at least $100,000, and close to that in a vineyard manager. So
right. Yeah, and then gosh, what they come with and their demands, and San Diego County is its own.
And that's
what's it going to cost? Yeah,
two aspects of it. I mean, you then you've got the farming, you have to control the pests, you have to have labor, that's just keeping your grounds together, tasting room. There's just a whole host of challenges that you face on a daily basis.
How do you solve those? I mean, you have some employees that you've had that are delightful, that you've had for years now. You've been through the pandemic with. Any advice that you can give to them?
We've been very fortunate. Thankfully, our daughter is actively involved in the management of the tasting room, and but you have to build. You have to build your club. You have to build what sets you apart from everyone else, and then hold on to those members. And there's a lot that goes into that. We have been fortunate to have the employees that we've had for a number of years, and it makes all the difference for the team. I don't look at them as being employees. They are part of my family. And during the pandemic, we were making sure we held on to them, because where were they going to go? They had bills to pay. They had families to take care of. So
and they seem like family.
They are family.
Yeah,
they are.
Absolutely.
They are.
You could definitely feel that, in meeting everyone. What's next for your winery?
Oh, there's several little projects that I have for my darling husband over there. They're honeydews. I haven't finished building out the dream. Mm-hmm. I mean, when Peter and we looked for a year before we found the property. And then he had out his little topo map. He said, I want to drive out Highland Valley and look at these 2 roads. We drove out one road, nothing. Drove out the second road, which is the road we're on, Camino del Aguila. And the for sale sign was at the top. You would have never seen it off of Highland Valley. And I don't believe in happen chance, because the owner was out in the grove, and Peter asked him, well, do you know anything about this property? Yes, I own it. He said, well, what will you accept for it? And he said, I won't accept anything less than $85,000. And we bought it, and we've never looked back. So it was this diamond in the rough. And I really do think that, because Peter and I have built everything you see there. He's always done the architectural design, and of course I do the exterior,
I followed you around, and you're all these little things with your attention to detail, and I was like, this woman is, I'm going to learn some things from her.
Details are important. It's a conversation, so, and that's what we want people to do. We wanted to create these little spaces where people can come out, sit out on the patio, enjoy their family, enjoy the wine, enjoy just the ambiance. And most folks are struggling with all sorts of challenges, and they hate their job, and they want to come out, and especially coming out of HR, I knew what those challenges were for most people. Mm-hmm. So I think that's what we are creating, and it's not finished. It's not finished yet. My job's not done yet.
Well, you have cast and built an incredible, vision and dream into a reality.
It's been a team.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and you've made it just that place that we can all come to. So thank you. When can we visit the winery?
We are open currently during the summer on Fridays from 2 to 6, and we don't kick anyone out at 6, but the sunsets are beautiful, and then Saturday and Sundays from noon to 6.
Beautiful. Thank you. Any advice for early entrepreneurs?
Follow your dream. First, do your homework. Align yourself with, understand what the cost of that business is going to be, but make sure that you have the folks that are going to be around you when the hard stuff happens, because everyone's there when it's easy going, but you really need to have people, and not just in the industry that you're in. Search for those folks that are outside of your environment, because they bring things to the table that you may not be thinking about. So that would be my best advice.
Well, thank you so much.
Pay it forward.
Absolutely.
Pay it forward.
Absolutely. Yeah. That reach back, and
you have to.
Yeah, pulling others up.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much for your time today.
Well, thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely.
I've enjoyed it. And come up and see me. I haven't seen you in a while.
Back. It's one of the biggest joys, dropping your winery. And then when the people in our community say, oh, I've been there, I'm like, hot damn. Yes, you have. So isn't it amazing?
That's
we just
awesome.
get to rant about it. So,
I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you have been listening to Denise Clark, co-owner and winemaker at Altipiano Winery. And this is season 2 of SheEO Lead-In. Thanks so much for joining us.
Now that was powerful. We hope you've been lifted and encouraged by today's inspiring voice. Always remember that life doesn't look exactly the same for each one of us. Never stop dreaming, striving, and thriving. In future episodes, we look forward to bringing you powerful stories from amazing women who learn how to lead in to challenges. Thank you for listening and being part of our community with SheEO host, Rebecca Jones.